This moves 20 miles to the west, and you and everyone you know are dead. All of you. And your kids die, too.
You've heard the stories. Massive hurricanes tearing through Florida, devastating homes, leaving cities flooded. But here in Gainesville, it's a different story. While the news is showing hurricane chaos,
The humanity!
I'm gonna tell you what it's really like here in Gainesville when those storms hit. If you don't live in Florida, it's easy to generalize the entire state. And then with today's constant news cycle, people quickly get caught up in the fear and the hype. Take Hurricane Milton, for example.
Hurricane Milton has the potential to be another deadly hurricane.
Hurricane Milton, already a historic storm.
This incredible hurricane.
Hurricane Milton is on a dangerous course toward Florida.
Milton continues to rapidly intensify and is forecasted to become a Category 5 hurricane later today as it heads towards Florida.
A local emergency currently exists.
It's just complete chaos. Everyone's trying to evacuate millions and millions of people.
We've only seen this, as a matter of fact, in my time twice, and I've been doing this a long time.
A friend of mine who's been living in Gainesville for about 5 years got swept up into the panic surrounding that storm. For days, all he heard from the Weather Channel and similar outlets was how bad it was going to be, even for inland cities like Gainesville.
So this could be the most destructive landfalling hurricane for this region that we've ever seen.
A large, extraordinary hurricane.
Keep in mind the impacts will extend beyond the cone of concern.
Watches and warnings and threats are not going to shrink as we go forward in time.
So the whole coast, up and down, impacted.
Florida residents have been securing homes and businesses, and shelters are filling up.
And it caused them to panic. He went out and spent thousands of dollars on a generator, big backup batteries, and tons of other supplies. Now, we were extremely fortunate, but in the end, Hurricane Milton hit the coast hard, shifted south, and basically had no impact on Gainesville, which is what pretty much always happens. But it is the perfect example of why you want to stay informed, be prepared, but not let fear push you into panic.
Sir, for your own safety, we do advise you to evacuate.
I ain't leaving. I was born in this nursing home and I'll die in this nursing home.
Using something like Zoom Earth or another similar satellite weather app where you can see the updates without all the drama, that can really help you stay calm and ready without unnecessary stress. Really, Gainesville's in a pretty sweet spot when it comes to hurricane season. We're located inland about 70 miles on the Gulf Coast and 75 miles on the Atlantic side. This means we're far enough away that we're usually not in a direct path of hurricanes like those coastal areas are. While places like Miami, Tampa, and Cedar Key get hit with the full force of these storms, Gainesville oftentimes escapes the worst of it. Our centralized location really makes a big difference, and it's actually one of the reasons why Gainesville is an evacuation destination for coastal cities when those storms approach.
Historically, Alachua County has been a hub for evacuees, but hotels in the area are at capacity.
Currently, there are no vacancy rates in Alachua County for hotels. Our shelters here in Alachua County will be opening up at noon. If they do get filled, there are contingency shelters in place to help with displaced people.
Historically, very few storms have reached Gainesville as a Category 1 or stronger. One of the most notable was Hurricane Irma back in 2017, which briefly hit as a Category 1, but then it quickly weakened to a tropical storm as it passed over Gainesville. Most hurricanes tend to lose strength or shift course before they even reach us. Gainesville's location provides a buffer against direct hurricane strikes, but the city still faces challenges during hurricane season. While winds are a concern, the greater threat comes from slower moving tropical storms that bring prolonged periods of heavy rainfall. These storms pose a significant risk to Gainesville's abundant trees, an essential part of its identity as Tree City. By saturating the soil and loosening the earth around the roots, making them more likely to topple. In 2004, for example, storms like Francis and Jean hit just weeks apart, causing widespread historic flooding and downed trees all throughout town. These toppled trees often cause more damage to homes than the wind. From houses being split in half to blocking roads and bringing down power lines, this can result in power outages that, while typically shorter than those experienced in coastal areas, still disrupt daily life and require significant recovery efforts. Therefore, despite being inland, Gainesville must remain prepared for specific hazards posed by hurricane season, with a focus on mitigating the impact of heavy rains and fallen trees.
John King says he loves the trees in his front yard, but with Hurricane Helene on the way, it feels like a risk.
If you look around, there's trees all over my house. I've already had several trees cut down, but there's still a lot that are concerning. Keene
Tree Service owner Aaron Keene says there's less to worry about if you are doing preventative maintenance to trees on your property. He says the cost to fix the damaged fallen trees caused after a storm is much higher.
Having said that, I've lived in Gainesville my whole life, and honestly, we don't usually do a whole lot to prepare for hurricanes. This is not an area where you see people boarding up windows and that sort of thing. Prepping for us includes filling up the bathtubs with water. Since we're on a well, if we lose power, we also lose water. Having that backup means we can still flush the toilets. We also bring in lightweight patio furniture, take down the umbrellas, and set out a few battery-powered lights. We usually keep some bottled water and canned food around, but to be honest, when we've lost power in the past, it's never been for more than 3 or 4 days, and in those cases, we ended up grabbing subs from Publix and just eating out, because the restaurants and stores typically reopen within a day or two. Real quick, if you're new to the channel, my name is Donovan Arnold and I'm a local real estate agent here in Gainesville, Florida. I put out these videos to share with you exactly what you can expect if you're moving to the area. We talk about things like the best places to live and all the things there are to do here in Gainesville. And if you don't want to miss a thing, you'll want to start by clicking the subscribe button and also click the little bell to get notified anytime I put out a new video.
It's just an incredible, incredible, incredible hurricane. It has dropped 50 millibars in 10 hours. I apologize. This is just horrific.
Now, if you really want to be covered, you could go ahead and get a generator so you can run the refrigerator and some fans, but honestly, I haven't even gone that far. We do have friends and family throughout Gainesville, so there's pretty much always someone that does still have power that if we had to, we could go crash with them.
While residents we spoke with say they are concerned about the storm's impacts, including gasoline shortages and power outages. Most tell us they're not evacuating.
We're not moving. We're not moving. We hung it out with Helene and she was closer to us than Milton is, so we're going to hang it out.
I'm used to it. No big deal.
We did hear from some residents here in Gainesville that say there are already some gas stations that are running out of fuel.
Now, our previous home did have natural gas and was on city water, which was great because if we lost power, we could still take hot showers and cook. So if your home does have natural gas, you're in even better shape. Keep in mind, everyone has a different background and different experiences when it comes to hurricanes. It's gonna be a risk-reward situation, and you wanna make sure you and your family feel safe and comfortable. Now that you know hurricanes may not be as bad as you initially thought when living in Gainesville, there are some things that maybe aren't as good as you thought too. And in this video, I'll share with you exactly why some people are choosing to leave Gainesville.